You are listening to the Savage FINcast, episode 56. We are not calling this episode Sideways Monkey Mouth.
Chicago. A criminal mastermind called Overlord held our city in his terrifying grip. Ordinary cops were losing the battle against Overlord's super freaks and mutants. Then, a miracle happened. When I found him, he had no memory of his past. I helped him find an identity and a life. Now we have a fighting chance. Now we have the dragon.
This is the Savage FINcast, the show that didn't ask for this. I am Jim Purcell.
I'm Craig Olson.
And I'm Raven Perez.
Nice to hear your voice, Craig. Good to have
Thanks,
you.
good to be back.
Good to have you back on the show.
Good to have you amongst the living.
I believe it's
Try to make my monthly appearance. Is bi-monthly every 2 months, or is that twice a month?
That's twice a month. It's more like
Twice a month.
bi-yearly.
No,
That's not right. Semi-quarterly.
So Eric's spitting out these issues like crazy. It's hard to keep up.
It has been a bit of a whirlwind lately. Of course,
It's been one after another.
could be almost one a month at this point. Makes your head spin.
What was it? At that one point, there was only a week apart, it felt like. It was nuts,
No,
dude.
it was never like that. He when he has them in the can, he keeps them a month apart.
It's
Yeah.
just us. We're getting them early digitally to put together the podcast. But
So it feels like it.
It blew my mind. All I know is, okay, so I remember what it felt like. So 221 hit stores,
Right.
and I was like, enough time had passed that I was like, oh, cool. And I was reading it with fresh eyes. And then I come home and 222 is waiting. I was like, oh, double Savage Dragon Day. That's what it felt like. It's like, what a great day. It's the best.
I was kind of bummed I missed talking about 221 because there was a lot of good stuff on that. And
We'll
I know you
talk
guys
about
put
it
together-
now.
One thing I know,
We got no news.
well, you guys just talked about 221. I don't want to go through it all for
Well,
everybody, but
Well,
I'll name
the
a
listeners
few
out
things.
the listeners out there is going to be like weeks apart.
Yeah, it feels like this book is coming full circle. It just seeing these Alex and Jennifer and even that Chester character who was like the cab driver way back when in the I think issue 24, 25.
It's official. I'm the only person who didn't realize that Chester was important.
He's not important.
No,
I'm an idiot.
Raven didn't even realize he was a character until we pointed out that he was the cab driver who keeps turning up and offering Dragon such sage advice at critical moments in his life.
Even Zach knew. Fresh face Zach knew.
Well, he probably just read it. Not
Yeah,
too long
it's
ago.
super fresh for him.
But the thing that blew my mind was Jennifer's been put on ice since 2000, and that was 17 years ago. It's like, what the F?
Isn't that awesome? Just to have this character there all the damn
It's
time.
awesome, but it's not, because I felt suddenly super old after realizing it, This real-time stuff is kind of a mind F.
Think about not to jump into it too much because we want to keep on 221 here. I want to get the Craig impression of it, but think about just that sequence where she you missed 9/11, you missed Bush, you missed Obama, the whole Obama era. It's just
Well, I think that they're only 5 years apart in age now.
Isn't that kind of hot?
Wait,
Yes.
5 years apart?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Angel and her mom.
Angel's 22 and Jennifer's 27.
What the fuck?
Yeah. That's awesome.
Don't let Maxine near him.
I know, dude.
Well, and you kind of think of Angel as this I still think of her as a naive type teen, And when you think about it, Jennifer is not that much older.
No, and it is funny just the way she's even acting. Like, I don't know. It is interesting. What'd you think of the whole baby fight?
That was pretty hilarious. You mean them just tearing Torment apart, tearing that little worm off him? I thought that, I never even realized that little, like, the worm was a worm like that. Like, the bottom part coming out of his jaw, I thought that was just horns.
Right.
Did you guys discuss that? I'm probably...
A little bit.
Just for the listener, we haven't published the last FINcast, so I don't know what these guys talked about previously. So I don't want to go too crazy because I'm probably rehashing everything you guys talked about. But
no, you aren't.
A few things that blew my mind. And the other thing I thought was freaking hilarious about 221 was the letters pages. And I don't know if you guys talked about this. Did you read that one letter?
I haven't read it. Raven brought it up.
Oh, man.
You
brought it up, Raven?
I am so glad you brought that up. What did you think of that letter? Because we didn't really go into it. All I said was, guys, I know that you might be tempted to skip the letters column. I said, don't. Be sure you flip to that middle section and read that middle letter. Wow.
Mr. Crude Typer in monster mode? It's like, that's an acronym.
What was that acronym for?
McTim?
I was like, Mr. Crude Typer in monster mode? Who is McTim?
I don't know. It's the weirdest letter I've read in a long time in Savage Dragon, and it was kind of a little creepy.
I loved it just because of how absurd. I mean, that is honest to God, like, just the absurdity. And even in Eric's response, he's like, thanks for the weird letter.
To Maxine.
Dear Maxine. That's how it starts.
I love, he posed questions, and one of the questions Eric wrote was, one of the answers Eric wrote was, I'm not even sure what this means.
Yeah, tell it. It's a laugh riot. I mean, if you get a chance, honestly, and like, that's what's so hilarious is, like, just think in another book, they would never publish something like that.
Yeah. You know what's cool, though? I find, like, the letters pages, in the past 5 years or so, maybe less, seem to really kind of got their shit back together. People are writing in. It seemed for a while like he'd get one or two letters, and I almost thought he would have to drop the letters page because didn't he even write that in issue? Like, you got to write in. I'm not getting any letters.
Yeah, there was the blank. That was the most depressing thing when you flipped and just saw that blank, and it's like, this is what it looks like when you don't write letters. It's like, oh.
And lately, I feel like letters pages have been like 2, 3. I think this one was 4 pages long. Yeah. And it's not, usually you see something like that on an anniversary issue, and, it's pretty cool that he gets that much feedback,
And just interesting ones, too. Like, you wouldn't think that, like, just what a wacky letter. I can't stop thinking about it. It's worth reading. It really is. It really is worth your time. Just kind of like the way he was, like, beating himself up over, like, not liking Maxine because of her small breasts. And then all of a sudden he's like, Malcolm was better than me, okay? Malcolm was better than me. He saw and I didn't. And I'm like, so weird.
I was so uncomfortable reading that whole letter all the way through. Anyway, so yeah, I don't want to dwell on it because you guys just talked about it, but that was my impressions. But it was a great issue, and Eric's just been on a roll. Like, you feel like he's building up to something huge with 225 right around the corner, and it amazes me that he can just keep it fresh and keep reintroduce old characters and stuff, but it still feels like he's going in a different direction.
I'm telling you, there's one thing I got to get. Like, we actually hit the beats, and you did provide relatively fresh viewpoints on most of the things. Believe it or not, you said stuff that we didn't necessarily say. I do want to ask you just one last thing before we let you move on, is how do you feel about that final page? You don't even get to finish your drink before the bad news drops.
With the phone call?
Yeah.
Like, how did I feel about it?
Yeah. How'd that make you feel? It's like, it's Alex. Yay. Oh, don't worry, old friend. You're free and I'm free. Here we are. And then ring, ring.
Yeah, I think it's even worse this issue that we're going to be talking about. But I think it's one of those classic Larson moves. I mean, I think it's great storytelling. It's great. It's great for the book. The great tension. You know, it's because you always think, oh, it's finally the happy ending with Alex, and then nope, we're going to throw a wrench in it.
God, she didn't even get a moment's break. Didn't even get to finish that drink.
Yeah, I don't know. I love it.
I'm glad to hear it. We did have one other piece of business. You got to forgive us, listeners. We killed the news on the last issue, so we got a little bit of we got a luxury of doing a little bit of just a different take with Craig on one of the other things that we went over, and we talked about how we're given a slew of covers here. Just a rash of covers between 224 and then the 3 variants
for
225. Right. So hit us up. Let's hear some impressions. Let's hear some Craig takes.
Well, 223, and I think like Jim pointed out, that was a take on it was a trade, right? Was it a regular issue or was it a trade that cover appeared?
It's a trade cover. I think it's Our World at War.
Which I think is cool callback. You know, I enjoy when he does that. You know, of course with Glum instead of Dark Lord, but it's a great visual. I don't really have much to say on that, but I do like callback covers. 224 almost reminded me of like the companion, the Savage Dragon companion. Do you remember how he did that like mirror? I don't know if that was the final cover was the mirror, because I know he did like a couple of covers for that companion. It was like one that was kind of like a quick pressing before a Comic-Con that he went to, and then there was a final. I think the final had the mirror background.
Yeah, I got both. The final has Dragon punching through red glass mirror with a bunch of...
Yeah, which is exactly kind of like this 224, but I think it's a great way to show like different scenes or different characters. I really like that. I don't know what it means with Maxine, though, at the center. Like,
she's the one with the most to lose.
Yeah, there's something going on because she's, you know, it's not Malcolm at the center of this, it's Maxine. So that's kind of, you know, really foreboding, and that's really cool. It really makes you feel like you got to know what's going on. So, bravo.
And, also, to think, just look at sort of what's going on with, like, you've got like multiple super patriots there. You got Malcolm and Angel making out. Like, what's your take on?
Sort of, PJ.
That Malcolm and Angel seems really familiar. Like that was like during the invasion story.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I wonder if he took these panels from like past issues.
I don't know. They all seem sort of familiar, but at the same time, a bunch of them do seem original. So
because that's going to be the whole storyline, right? Like from what I've read, is like multiple universes or something are coming together. Did you guys read that?
That's what that's the take. Merging the Earths.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I'm just wondering what they're merging because the Earth got blowed up.
Well, there's multiple. I don't know. Not the original one is gone, right? Universo took care of that one.
He chewed that one right up.
Yeah, so I don't know. In terms of 225, you know, I think it was funny because I think Eric said of the 2 that he drew, there's one with like the one cover's got Dragon kind of popping out the middle, and the other one's more of like an action scene with Dragon versus Dark Lord. And I think he said he did the first one with just the Dragon kind of popping out towards the viewer first. He wasn't so sure about it, and then did the Dark Lord. But I like the one with him popping out towards the viewer. I think it's
a somewhat classic Dragon cover because with the yellow speed lines and the Dragon coming at you.
I just like it because it's just, you know, when's the last time we saw Dragon original size? You know, and it's just like, I think that kind of blows your socks off when you see that. You're like, oh man, he's back, and he's like, you know.
But is he back, Craig? Is he back?
Who knows?
We had.
I tend to think he probably is because Eric drew him huge on both covers.
See, okay, but I was about to get excited because we I thought that I forgot Zach's vote, so this makes 2 for the it is not dragon, it is an alternate universe dragon. And then am I right in assuming that you're putting your vote in this is average dragon blown back up?
Yeah, I gotta go that way. I gotta believe Eric wants to give us something for 225 and not be some kind of other version dragon. We've had enough of those. I gotta believe that maybe at this point Eric wants to close out the Dark Lord saga, and you have to have original dragon versus, giant Dark Lord, or kind of original Dark Lord, if you want to call it.
So do you think this giant Dark Lord is Hoodie Dark Lord, or do you think he's original Dark Lord somehow?
I don't know. It's a good question. I don't think he's Hoodie Dark Lord, because this is real time, and Hoodie Dark Lord is still, for him to get that huge in 5 years?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
I think Hoodie Dark Lord has more to do with Malcolm, so I don't really want to see him go away.
Kind of how I see it.
I mean, original Dark Lord's dead. He got chopped in half.
No, when I said original Dark Lord, I meant like original looking Dark Lord. Obviously, this is going to be like an alternate version, but it would just be nice to see that final battle of full-size dragon versus full-size Dark Lord and get that closure, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that may be. I don't know. Who knows?
So
I never guess Eric's twists correctly. I feel like maybe
that's true.
Out of the whatever, we're on 225 issues. I probably, I've got it a handful of times, but we're talking out of 225 issues.
Well, you raised an interesting point earlier. Not so much about Chester, but with Alex back and Jennifer back, we've got all the survivors of the original Earth all together now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and then you got the kids too, right? Still,
right.
The other kids, like the twins.
Oh yeah, you would have to get Janny and the Johnson twins, wouldn't you?
Right.
Yep. So I guess there are a few more survivors we haven't seen, so maybe that's not relevant.
It could be.
It just seems convenient that Alex is back just as Jennifer returns.
Another theme we touched on, Craig, is you're talking about like the book coming full circle and like killing a major one last thing that's out there, like Dark Lord. If you think of it in terms of Glum and Dark Lord, they are more Dragon era villains than they are Malcolm era villains.
Right.
So even though Malcolm's tangled with Glum, for the most part, like there's the last 2 like Dragon era villains like on the cover with Big Dragon right there.
Yeah, well, I can see that 2 ways. One way, I think, definitely Dark Lord is a Dragon character, but he also did screw up Malcolm's life, and so he's really tied with Malcolm that way. And the same thing with Glum. He's a Dragon character, but he screwed up Angel's life, and Angel is pretty much a major character of this book now too. So both those guys are tied in, with both kind of Malcolm world Dragon and old ancient history Dragon.
So do you think this is the last hurrah for Dragon?
Nah, I hope not. I don't think Eric can bring himself to kill Dragon off. I think Eric just totally wants him in the background as like Malcolm's mentor. I just don't see it. I think maybe it might end with Dragon dying and somehow he brings him back or something, but I don't foresee Eric getting rid of Dragon. I really don't.
So you think he's just going to get temporary beefy and then shrink back
Could be.
down?
I don't know. Anything could happen. But I definitely think it's not like one of those fake covers where he's never, he's really skinny on the inside.
I very much expect there to be a beefy Dragon in the issue.
And you might, I didn't think about it until you guys said it. It very might well be an alternate Dragon. I can't count that out, but I hope not.
I hope it's a real deal.
And can I say I didn't talk about Frank Fosco's cover, but that thing is legit.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love like the fire escape. It feels very Chicago, the elevated train. I love the guy hanging off the bridge.
The guy hanging off the bridge is everything. With the little like people, that's awesome.
Wow, this monster and it just looks so dynamic. Like the way the the shading and the hatch marks are, it just looks like the thing is just coming down full force on this train. Like it's a good cover. Fosco's the man.
How about that monster logo?
Yes, love it.
Great,
Eric loves
right?
his freaking huge logos, and it's gonna pop on the stand.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff.
Good. That's what we wanted. We just want to get your take. That's all. We just want to get your take.
All right, you got it. Now let's move on to some new, fresh stuff.
Before we do that, I think you've got one last bit of talk. We're putting Craig to work, man. It's like the Craig cast. I believe, just to reintroduce our topic one more time, totally fizzled. I got to say, bad show, everyone. Bad show. You let us down. Just kidding. We love you. Thank you for listening. But the segment that we're trying to get you guys in on, bring you in, have you talk. It's all about you, baby. Is FINteresting responses. Different than FINteresting conversations. FINteresting responses is all about we, the hosts, pose a question. Then you, the listeners, you give us your take on it. We read it back. And it's not like with FINteresting conversations where there can only be one winner. There's no real winner in this. This is about having a conversation, getting
You're
your
all
voice
losers.
in there. Just being a part of the conversation, being part of the dialogue. So this is as many people, if you would just want to get your opinion out on what we're talking about, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to have what you say be on the show. Just email us. Savage FINcast.
Savage FINcast. Yes.
At gmail.com, right?
SavageFINcast at gmail.com is correct.
Yes.
Say it again. SavageFINcast at gmail.com.
So please, when we pose this question to you, the new one, we are abandoning the old one. Abandon ship. It was a failure. Jim, you failed us.
I did.
Your topic was horrible and no one liked it.
I know.
That's so harsh, dude.
I know.
Alternate reality Jim knocked a home run.
Now I don't want to pose my question because if I don't get any answers, I'll get a tongue lashing from Raven.
Satiras Gravis. He'll come.
You should have heard what Raven said to Jim before we recorded. It was horrible.
Lots of prayer.
You're a monster.
4-letter words aplenty. But no pressure. No pressure, Craig. It's on you, man. Ball's in your court.
All right, let's do this. So, what do you guys think? If it seems like we're coming full circle here. It seems like we're getting some of the old guard back per se. We know Eric likes to kill. He's definitely we're averaging a kill or two an issue sometimes. But if you could pick one kind of supporting character that you told Eric hands off and he couldn't touch for 10 years, meaning he couldn't kill the guy, could do whatever he wanted with the guy, girl, character, whatever, but he can't kill him, which character would it be? And we're talking supporting cast, so by supporting cast I mean anyone with the exception of Dragon, Malcolm, Maxine, and Angel.
Ooh. So even like we could technically protect even like Alex or Jennifer?
Sure.
Ooh, all right. So we're going to do a little thing different than the last FINteresting responses we did. We're going to discuss it just a little bit, all of us, the hosts, and just to get the motor, just to get you good folks out there warmed up. And then we're going to take it away and let next time we do a FINcast, hopefully, you'll have given us your thoughts, and we'll discuss them on the show. We'll just read it out loud and talk about it. So take it away, whoever wants to take point on this. Who would you protect?
Go for it, Jim.
Neutron Bob. Discussion over.
How did I not know? I should have known.
Neutron Bob is the best.
You don't want to discuss it?
Well, try to explain to me how I'm wrong. Just try. He's big and blue, and he shoots laser beams, and he has a wonderful jacket.
I really can't shit on your choice. I'm just saying, out of all of them, that's your guy, huh?
That's my guy.
All right.
I'm afraid so. Slaughter the rest of them. They won't be missed.
Even more than I don't know. One of the babies?
They're doomed anyway.
All right. Fair enough.
Inevitably.
Craig, were you thinking of anybody in particular when you thought this question up?
I really wasn't. But I'm going to have to go with Mother Mayhem. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to say the obvious because it's too easy. Like saying Vanguard or Super Patriot. But I love those guys, and I wouldn't want to see them killed. But the other guy I also love is Powerhouse.
Jennifer.
No, Jennifer. Yeah, she can die tomorrow.
Yes.
Powerhouse. I love that chicken.
He's good.
I want him more in the comic. I enjoy his adventures. And I don't know. It's I guess it's a weird question because the guys I really am attached to are the guys that have gotten so much screen time, like Super Patriot and Vanguard, that I want there to be another character that gets so much screen time that you don't want him to die. And I don't feel, besides like Maxine or Angel, I don't feel like I have that character again. That like Thunderhead could get that way if he had more time. You need some more character development, but it seems like the guys that I choose are the obvious choices because they've gotten so much development.
No, I get it. I know, but at the same time, I mean, those are the guys at this point in the book that are probably most on the chopping block. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Eric, I guess if you could say one thing, if a customer, what am I even talking about? If a character feels a little long in the tooth, like maybe they've done everything they could do, or they've played out their, role as much as it can, those are kind of the ones that are the most in trouble.
Like that dragon guy.
Yeah, it's just poor dragon. Get a little long in the tooth.
What are your thoughts, Raven?
I got a surprise entry, a dark horse.
Dun, dun, dun.
A character you will not guess.
Is it Chester?
Melvin Belko.
Really?
Yeah, Belko. Dude, every time he appears, he gets more and more like whacked out and interesting.
You don't want it to ever end?
I want him to be like the next Rex Dexter.
Did his head get chopped off? And now
it did.
It did. Didn't stop him.
Yeah. Amazing.
Was the head could just fly around, couldn't it?
Yes,
Something
that's how
like that.
His head got chopped off one issue. He said, "Wow, that was resolved quickly." And the very next issue, he was flying around as a head.
Love it. And I would just love to see that continue. Like, I would just love to see that character stay in the book and continue to get weirder and weirder and weirder.
And I kind of think of him almost like a supervillain in a way. I mean, I know he's not really. But
He's getting there.
But, when I think of that, I'd almost thinking like Dart, too. Like, I almost wouldn't want him to touch Dart because we need more of those kind of major villains that don't get killed off,
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you can just put on the Dart armor. It's got to be Allison.
The Dart armor.
Yeah, right.
Someone just puts that thong right up their butt.
And now they're Dart.
I like reoccurring bad guys, guys that could be gone for 20, 30 issues and come back, and he used to do that a lot more. And we do have Glum and Dark Lord, but it seemed like recently guys just kind of are 2 and out,
I almost protected one of the young Vicious Circle, but I don't know. When I thought about it, I was like,
is it Dumpling?
It was. I know you think I'm joking, but I was gonna protect Dumpling. I think those are interesting.
Shut up! No way.
Yeah. I was like, keep them in the book because that's the thing is they seem kind of one note, like you could just work them out. But to me, that's your new tragic character. That's your new Mako.
Dumpling becomes head of the Vicious Circle.
I would love to see that story arc where Dumpling just gets a prominent role where you would never dream. I never thought Brainy Ape would be important.
I would just like Dumpling gets like that hologram like imposter technology, and she's like a hot chick, and she's in bed with some dude, and then the hologram shuts off, and he's like laying with a steaming pile of shit.
That is a winner. That's a winner, Craig. Oh my god. Perfect. No, that's perfect. Nah.
Now it's your turn, listeners, to top us.
Can you top our responses?
Our steaming pile of shit.
Can you do better than Dumpling?
Can you beat Dumpling?
I think they're gonna best our answers.
I have high hopes. I think there's a lot of potential there.
So Savage FINcast at gmail.com. Write it down. Write us.
We would love to hear from you. We would love to hear from you. Before we wrap up and move to the meat and potatoes, 222, our review, I want to say that FINteresting Conversations is still happening. I have a super sweet, amazing prize. It's going to blow your balls off. I'm going to be rolling it out very soon. We'll make an announcement and let you know what it is. It's top secret until we get it ready, but
what?
It's awesome. It's going to be sick to death. Something a little special.
Personalized FINcast pens and pencils.
It's just going to be an egg.
A FINcast trapper keeper.
Like an Easter egg with a fin on it.
Nice.
But no, sick. So wait till you see it. You're going to love it. So we're still doing that as well. And that is still the way it was, where there can be only one. So be a winner. Win something.
Be a loser. Win nothing.
So, concluding that business, what do you say we get down to it, fellas?
The meat and potatoes.
Ooh, 222. What?
Or as I like to call it, issue XXX.
Yeah, Eric just definitely was like, fuck it, this issue, huh?
Fuck it.
Love it. I was expecting, with the Facebook posts, about would anybody
outrage.
be mad? Well, he was like, would anybody be mad if, blah, blah, blah happened or whatever? I'm getting tired of covering up these naughty bits.
I was expecting like an article on the Mary Sue or something.
I was expecting just a tiny little bit.
Oh, you know what? This hasn't really come out yet. We're talking about...
That's right.
Something
no one can react yet, Craig. We're the first.
So here's the thing.
So for the listener, we're reviewing this before it's actually been released.
So at this point, the entire world could have burned down by now. So,
I am expecting people... There's at least, every time... Was it Comic Book Resources when there was the three-way?
Yeah.
They couldn't get enough of it. Every time there was a mention of the three-way or something in there, every time it was mentioned, they're going to go bananas over this issue.
It's going to be on Bleeding Cool.
Bleeding Cool. That's it.
Yeah, you think?
And then the Mary Sue's going to get it and be like, that's not how a woman's body looks.
Oh, I love it, dude. I love it. This issue was fucking awesome.
It had everything. And when I read it a second time, I noticed shit that I didn't notice the first time.
Mm-hmm. Because there was so much. There was so much. There was so much in this issue, dude. So much. Do you want to dig into it? Let's start with
the first page. I just was kind of laughing because, man, Angel's got a hell of a getup. The SOS must pay her some good money. So she's got like a rooftop loft in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
But you figure, I guess superheroes probably get paid a lot in the SOS, right?
Yeah. I mean, is she even still a part of that?
Yeah, she doesn't seem active lately.
Whatever she's doing, she can afford some major apartment space.
Some floor space.
It's better than Malcolm's. Malcolm's apartment always seems so small.
And gets lots of holes in it.
Well, it is tricky, too, because these panels are so long that with the first and fourth panel or fifth panel on the first page, it kind of gives it that, it's the same small little sliver, but the bookends kind of trick your eye into, like, seeing a huge space. At least it did for me.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I get it too. Yeah, it gave that impression.
I guess these tall panels is more an Angel thing than a Dimension X thing, like I thought.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, huh? Every time every time Angel shows up, he does those long, skinny panels. Like, at least for the past 3 issues, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's been a recurring visual breakup. So every time you've got like Angel's from Angel's scene, everything's like tall and skinny, and on Malcolm's scenes, it's all like left to right.
I think. No, I have to do some research on that. I think Dragon pages have like black borders on them.
Well, the Angel page here has a black border too.
Oh, that's true.
So I think that's just to break shit up. I don't think there's anything there.
So basically, she just recaps kind of everything we know, but it kind of...
Yeah, I think that's my biggest problem with this issue, is the info dump here seems redundant with the info dump last issue.
Yeah, you missed it, Craig, but Jim went a little bananas on info dumps.
I can appreciate a good info dump. I just felt that like it was almost like 3 pages worth.
He took a butthole dump on info dumps. It was not pretty.
I kind of like it in this issue because I feel like, you know, there's Jennifer and she's just missed a lot. And they're kind of just sitting, and they're talking a lot more about Dragon and about how he's twice his age, and he's definitely gone through a lot of crap. So he's definitely not the same person he was 20 years ago, which I liked because when you think about superheroes and all the adventures they have and stuff, and how much, like, if it was a semi-real thing, how much a person would change from, you know, their first appearance to like their 200th issue, you know, like just
and on
all
top
the crap
of that,
you see.
On top of that, like, you could even, I haven't read it, you know, as recently as that, but like, remember there towards the end, like when Dragon was just thinking about his life and he was just like, you know, it's just been a crazy life. He's like, it's just been a crazy life. Like, all these things that have happened to me are insane. And yeah, it is good. I think it is a great touch. He's like, just think about all these things that have happened and how different he is.
Right. 17 years is a lot of things going on, and they bring that home.
Doesn't Jennifer, I know we hate her, but I'm saying, doesn't Jennifer just seem like a total knob in this sequence?
She like no sells that Dragon like married an alternate reality version of her. That would fuck me up something awful.
Yeah.
Knowing he just replaced me.
She's like, he found someone else, someone like him. It's like, really?
To me, that's how the Jennifer character has always felt, and I've never liked the character. She doesn't have a personality that Angel or Maxine or, you know, Alex. She just feels like, I don't know, just always in the way or something. Like,
she's a dum-dum.
I just don't like the character. I really don't.
So, Craig, when you said you went back to the issue and started noticing things, it wasn't panel 3 here, was it?
On the front?
On
the first page?
No, on the first page of Angel.
That, to me, at first, I thought was just like a coloring error, but as I got further in the book, I kind of realized it might not be. I think panel 4, too, is kind of funny.
Panel 4 is funny.
Something that rhymes with Smammal Joe.
Smammal Joe.
To be fair, though, camel toes happen in Dragon all the time.
Right,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
which not.
And hilariously tame compared to what.
But I think because I didn't really read the issue all the way through yet, like, I just thought that was like a coloring screw up.
It's her belly button.
No, that was the old winky, the old sideways smile.
Sideways monkey mouth.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, we get to see our good friend Alex.
Yeah.
Oh, glorious. Just
when you turn this page, what was your reaction?
It only took 25 years.
This almost brought me like a callback to that doggy scene
It
with
was.
Alex.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, if you're gonna do it, just do it better.
Do it big. Didn't even like hold back. I'm tired of holding back. It's like there it was. And like the loose wrist, like dragging just the limp wrist, like sitting on the edge
all
of
the time. That's Eric always does that.
Still the saddest dragon.
Hello, darkness, old friend. Just hitting him, dude.
I just love that, we're 222 issues in, and Eric's just like, fuck it, nipples it is.
Nipples ahoy. Well, the thing is that I'll tell you, let's play predictor here. I predict that you're going to have people upset.
You think? You think people are going to be upset, Raven?
I think people are going to be upset. I don't think people are going to be like, it's cool. I think people, because remember the reaction to the threesome?
Did anyone react like when Angel and Glum were having sex? Like, was there a big...
I'm not sure.
Oddly enough, I don't think as much.
That was weirder to me than this or any of it. It was just like, if any reaction, you would think it would have been that one. Because she's basically was this little red child's toy.
Is taking Angel to Pound Town on a pile of corpses. Nope. Didn't get a reaction.
No, but I think this one, because there's actual like female breasts in it, I think people are, first of all, I think it's going to be a story on Bleeding Cool that, it's nudity all of a sudden Savage Dragon. I hope I'm wrong and it just is not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But then it'll be like, first comment, they still make Savage Dragon?
Yeah, exactly. Second comment, real classy.
Yeah.
Third comment, anything for shock value.
Anything to boost sales, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, those are your top 3 comments, ladies and gentlemen. I think there's dongs in there too.
Yes, tons.
There's lots of dongs.
Fire dongs.
And what's funny is that since we're just talking about it, since we've broke form and we're just talking about like the content of the issue, it is funny just because if you think about like Orkstain had just penises on every page.
Yep. Great comic.
They were just, and that was even a plot, like.
And breasts, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think so.
I'm pretty sure.
And cocks were even their currency of money.
Yes, that's right. That's totally right. I forgot about that.
They would cut off weenies, and it was a sign. It was like a status, and it was also money. And it's funny that, like, Image Books, like Image, the company. I mean, it's just a company that can publish whatever.
Yeah.
And yet, if stuff shows up in Savage Dragon like this, like people act like fucking Spider-Man whipped his dick out.
Well, I think because it's a superhero comic that people can't get away from that. I don't know. And it's was at least a popular comic. Everyone knows Savage Dragon that collects superhero comics pretty much.
Yeah.
I don't know. People just can't get away from that. That it's because it's so much. It reads so much like comics, superhero comics of your youth in a way. I mean, not the mature themes, but at least everything else in the way it looks. That I don't know. I mean, I guess it strikes a nerve with people.
Jack Kirby wouldn't do this.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like if hide the nipple makes you feel better, good for you. But I mean, we're all adults. We all know what's behind the carefully placed object.
In a book where people are getting like just filled with gore, just completely savaged and, heads cut off and, you show a nipple and it's like, my God, you'd think the world end. Hopefully that's not the case, but like you said, there'll be some kind of outrage.
I predict outrage. I mean, it's the internet. I predict outrage. I don't know if it'll be a Mary Sue article, but it'll be a Bleeding Cool article for sure.
We shall see. So, correct me if I'm wrong. This is a character we've seen before.
Who's that?
In this next section.
I
guy.
No.
Don't
No.
think so.
He's
Nope.
not. He's not Rapture's brother who tried to like get Malcolm to like help him out.
Nope,
No.
because that means he'd be screwing Rapture, and that's not the case.
Yeah.
Right. Wait. Okay. So he. Okay.
The
Yeah,
girl,
you're right.
So he's possessed by these Fire Lord things,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
and now he's attacking the girl. And I think he's trying to rape her because in like the next scene, his pants are like down or whatever.
Kind of
Yeah.
the insinuation.
And I guess that's the way the Fire Lords can get into her. Or something. I don't know, but
Yeah.
The-
Fire Lords are weird.
I do like the cartoony features of this guy, especially his teeth.
Oh,
It really gives a menacing look. I love how Eric's not afraid to like give cartoony features to his characters.
Mm-hmm.
He just looks so much more menacing than he would if Eric tried to draw him more realistic.
Yeah. There's something about just those like vicious, jagged little teeth, and like just to the way his eyes, like his small, like super round eyes.
Feels very anime, like or manga influenced, I guess, to me.
Creepy. This is a creepy moment. Just the way he looks and the way he's talking.
Yeah.
Creepy.
Did any of you? So the next page, when she shoots lightning, which apparently she had never done before, when you read on in the book,
Mhm.
like she just learned how to use her power, or just learned she had powers. But
She pulled an Angel Murphy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Did any of you guys right off the bat say that's Rapture's daughter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first thing I thought. I said, "Oh, more kids, eh?"
I'm dumb. I never make the obvious connections.
That was my first thought.
I didn't know like what I thought, but I thought surely not.
It does seem like a lot's going on lately to just introduce a new sibling character.
That's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, I just can't believe that Thunderhead and this chick are now Malcolm's like half siblings.
Well, and Thunderhead and this chick are actually more siblings because Malcolm's mother is an alternate Rapture.
Right.
So actually, like, I guess what's this girl's name?
She says it later. I forget.
Marsha, right? Marsha.
Let me jump ahead.
Marsha Bradley.
Marsha Bradley.
Which
Yep.
I keep saying Marsha Brady.
Marsha. Yeah, Marsha Bradley. Yeah. So Marsha Bradley, yeah, we just popped the cork on that one, but yeah, she's so now Malcolm's like got even more extended family, and she's got the lightning powers too. I know we
just
didn't
fried
say,
her dad's face off, which is pretty freaking awesome.
I love his awesome like fried face with the Fire Lord hand busting out of the back.
Yes.
That's an awesome panel.
What's going on in the panel above it?
Speaking of tangents, I think there's kind of a tangent going on there, I'm afraid. It kind of looks like she's shoving her arm through him. Kinda, to me, at first glance.
I got it, but then you can see her arms in front of him. You can see both her arms.
I guess it's her arm.
I can see what you're saying, though.
Yeah.
I see. I get it. But I read it clean.
What's going on in the panel above? Like the panel between her shooting her powers and his face fried off. I didn't get that.
She fries his head, and I guess we kind of see debris fly away, but it is kind of an odd like cutaway.
I think potentially it's a Fire Lord, maybe.
Oh.
Like a Fire Lord got zapped out of him.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of how I interpreted it. I could be
Okay.
wrong.
Oh,
Yeah,
so he's got like more than one inside of him?
Oh, clearly he's got more than one in him. Because
Okay. That's right.
when he bursts open, multiple come out.
And he just shatters on the ground. His just crispy corpse.
Wait a minute. Shatter is a sound effect. I did not catch that.
Shatter.
It's just like a...
I guess shatter is an onomatopoeia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It works. I'm okay with it. Because what else would you put? Like gashink or something like that?
Smoosh, smash. Crack-a-doom.
Oh, this bathtub sequence is good stuff. That is funny.
Doom.
That is funny shit. Where they're spitting the water on Angel.
So you just had a sound effect spit.
Spritz. Splat.
Just that panel of all three of them spitting.
I think
this was a good opportunity to just rip Angel in half. Just suddenly ripped in half.
from baby spit?
From spit and water, yes.
And the
I think it's the go ahead.
Nips just keep on coming.
I think it's hilarious though, Maxine's dialogue here, because it's so true even with just non-superpowered kids. When she's like, the room ends up soaked, the hardwood floor in the hall is getting all warped and fucked up. She's just like going off, and it's like having two kids of my own. Like, kids just destroy everything that you have that's good. Like the other day I came home and my couch just had this huge gash in it right down the cushion, because it started off with just a little worn spot, and my kid decided he was going to stick his finger in it and just pull at it.
And then shove his whole arm into it.
Yeah, and it was just like, God damn it. Nothing. You can have nothing good. But that's the shit they would do. Like, one time they just like let the water run over the tub, and it just like got the ceiling wet above, and I had to like repaint the ceiling because it had like wet spots.
How'd the ceiling get wet?
Because it flowed down the tub. So I got this little like, the tub has got this little like shower thing that pulls out, so they can wash their hair. But that hole, if water overflows, it can go down that hole. I've since fixed it, but get into the floor and then.
Oh! You mean the downstairs ceiling?
Yeah, sorry, not the upstairs.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, okay, I understand that.
I should have prefaced it by saying my bathroom.
I don't know.
Second floor.
How did the water get in the air?
How you guys not know what my house looks like? Why do I have to explain everything? You should know, Jim.
You said
just from the sound of my voice.
Kids destroy everything good.
I know I did.
It's just everything. We bought a new like dining table. It's just scratch marks all over it.
You never buy new with kids.
Oh, I know, but
you gotta live secondhand until they're teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that little dialogue just hit home, and I'm like, "Yep, know the feeling." I can't imagine if kids were superpowered. I would
just the team.
Then you see Angel getting like shot back into the drywall, and the drywall all cracked.
From the water cracking drywall.
So, anyway.
It's good. It's a hilarious sequence. I love it. Love it. This super-powered baby stuff.
I hope these kids don't get wiped out in some kind of infinite crisis.
I'm going to be sad. I'll be sad if the kids get wiped out in an infinite. I'm enjoying the super baby stuff.
I can see something where they're like swapped with like older versions of themselves. Just doing
the Franklin Richards solution.
Guys, how cool is that?
Teenagers from the future.
They just become like Cable, robot, like Dragon from the future,
like Neighbor Craig.
Yes. How cool is this splash page? Like
fantastic.
I love the firefighters.
Yes, that looks cool. Malcolm's fate, everything about this. Someone's going to be a lucky owner of this piece of art. I think that's a spectacular piece of art.
Oh yeah, to the flames, like just the like him coming through the flames and like fire and stuff. Wow, it's good stuff. Cool. It's good stuff. You can never go wrong.
I hope that wasn't a load-bearing wall.
I love how he brings it back. Like, he could have set this anywhere, but he put it in the danger zone, which I love how the danger zone still exists. And obviously there's like poor people living in the danger zone and all sorts of mutant menaces still kind of residing there.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy the danger zone.
And just a shithole. It's just a real dive.
And it's your like last connection to like the Savage World storyline. Like, I love how like, you tend to forget at one point this Earth was completely like just destroyed and like mutants were all over the place and stuff.
See, that's the weird thing about the Savage World period and the Sebastian Khan thing. That really couldn't have been the case. It really could have only been like certain areas were worse off than others. I mean, it's just because like Detroit was fine, mostly.
But under the Great Lakes there was like Atlantis and all the monsters were coming up, right?
Yeah. It was a pretty worldwide phenomenon.
Detroit, I thought, was not good. Because isn't that where, like, Madman was? Was that in Detroit?
No, that was Australia.
No.
Right?
They started off in Detroit. Because remember Neutron Bob? They bumped into him. It was either, Mayhem in the Motor City, wasn't it? Like.
Yeah, I was going to say, how could you forget Neutron Bob, Jam?
No, but I could have swore that was the whole point. He showed up. He got teleported there by Vanguard, and he was like, first he was super surprised that it was there at all because it got blown up in the Image universe during the Martian invasion, and then then you kind of see that the whole city is just still functioning. It's still a city.
Maybe you're right. And like
the
deadly duo acting as cops for the city or something.
Right. I guess that would have been a unique case if they were basically in charge of the place. But I just remember that Anne was still a nurse and she was still working a job.
Yeah, I think there were definitely sections that were still right, but there was still a lot of weird, messed up things going on.
Yeah.
It was still bad. I mean, there were like dudes fighting in coliseums, gladiator style and shit.
I don't know. I always got the impression that where Dragon was messed up, but the whole world couldn't have been messed up. Honestly, things probably got more messed up when Glum was in charge overall. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know the extent of it. I know Australia was pretty messed up. I just envisioned the whole world was kind of.
It kind of. I got that vibe. I got the vibe of this savage world. I mean, it was even right in the title. Like, I got the vibe that it was bad.
This savage Chicago and surrounding area doesn't have quite the ring to it.
Yeah.
This savage Chicago and adjacent boroughs.
Yeah, exactly. It just doesn't have the same ring to it. I kind of got the vibe that, because wasn't that the whole thing too? They were like, "Oh, he took over the whole world. The whole world's to shit." They were talking about it all the time.
This savage suburb.
Yeah, I mean, Washington was messed up because Cyberface moved in, but I kind of thought that things were a mess mostly because Cyberface had moved into Washington and messed up the government, and so. Just in general, life was hard. Not so much that super mutants were everywhere.
Well, there were the gods, there were giant bugs, there were, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
They don't build statues of you for just saving Chicago.
They cleaned it up nice and fast, though.
Well, that's the thing. Things seem to recover quickly is all.
Funny books.
Except for the Danger Zone. For some reason... 10 or 15 years later, it's still a shithole.
Well, think how long actual Flint, Michigan has been without clean water. I mean, I can buy it. I think that's kind of how you have to read it. Yeah, I can buy it.
There's just sections that are just slums, and they're still overrun by like freaks and poor people, and
there are fewer open fire pits, is all.
I love those giant round open fire pits. Glorious.
Which I believe these little Fire Lord guys might tie into.
Have we seen them before? No, right?
I think they're part of like the overall underworld war that was during that big double page splash issue.
Okay.
We finally got a taste of, so these are more guys being driven to the surface because of the war underground.
And you guys notice they all have giant dicks?
On second viewing, unfortunately.
Hilarious. I'm sorry, but that's hilarious.
I didn't notice that until second viewing when I'm like, oh, he's really pouring it on with all this nudity. And then I'm like, let me check out the dongs on these fire guys, see if he's doing something with that. I was like, oh, there they are.
Exactly.
All over the place.
Which makes sense,
over. I love this, I'm getting ahead of myself, but when we get to the point, there's that one splash where it's just like Franken Beans, giant. Awesome.
Franken Beans, you called them. yeah, it's good. Even we just said her name. Even cousin
Marsha.
Here. Yeah, even cousin
Marsha.
When she uses her powers, boom, there go the clothes.
Yep, none of those.
Malcolm needs to do the same thing.
What, burst his clothes off?
Yeah, he needs to have a super lightning attack where his clothes it ends with him naked.
It's coming.
It's got to be. Now, dudes, it's been a pretty hot it's been a pretty hot, it's pretty saucy issue, but we're about to get to the sauciest. The sauciest of moments.
I seriously gotta wonder if something's actually going on with Maxine.
I'm terrified. Can I talk seriously about this? This is a terrifying sequence.
Yes.
Because she's kind of portrayed as to the point of unfaithful.
Well, that's not how I'm reading it. I'm reading to the point of something is wrong with her. Like, tantrums, like, inside of her or something.
Oh, wrong with her.
Yeah. Something
She's like possessed.
Like, something is, like, really accelerating her libido to the point of making her absolutely crazy.
That's not how I read it.
You think she's just a regular nymphomaniac?
Yeah, I read it.
Totally.
I mean, that's
totally
how she's been
run-of-the-mill.
portrayed for the longest time now, but...
I mean, I guess, but I don't think she's been this aggressive before.
Well, that's kind of what she's talking about here, is that she's surprised herself that things have not cooled off. Because, I mean, even, it's funny, when you think, I know that Eric said he just plays this shit by ear, but it just feels like there's so much building. And, like, you think there was that scene where Frank Jr. and Malcolm, they're walking around. He's like, how's things with Maxine? He's like, oh, it's still hot and heavy. And Frank Jr. tells him, he's like, well, you know, enjoy it while it lasts, buddy. You know, that goes away.
Yeah.
And then here's this sequence where, like, Maxine's like, it never goes away. But then, like, the part that gets me, like, super duper, like, you know, like I said, scared that an infidelity plot is coming, is that she's, like, talking about, you know, Torment. And, like,
and Dragon Senior.
Torment, Dragon Senior,
Kevin.
and Kevin. And I'm just like, oh no, dude, you got to give her the State Fair zucchini fast.
We do learn a very important detail about Kevin. He's got lightning bolts everywhere.
We learn not only
and
that,
Torment.
Torment's got a misshapen two-tone dick. Stuff was too funny, dude. I'm sorry. I think that people are going to get outraged. I think it's a little sad because you're missing, like, just how funny this sequence really is.
Yeah. Why is Eric going to characterize women as sex crazed?
Or I'm thinking more like, whoa, he's just perverted. It's just got to be perverted. It's like, no, it's funny, dude. Remember how funny it was in Mallrats when he was asking Stan Lee about the Thing's dick?
Orange dick.
Yeah, Orange Rocky dick.
Right.
And that was just like Kevin Smith's musings in a film that would never be in a Marvel comic. Yet here we have in Savage Dragon a main character talking exclusively about just the weird dicks she's seen. And it's hilarious.
Side note, have any of you guys attempted to watch that Yoga Hosers movie?
I have not.
Is it bad? That's
I think you gotta kind of be in on the joke.
It's completely horrible. I made it 15 minutes in. My wife was like, "Can you please turn this off?" And we both like Mallrats and Clerks.
And I couldn't watch Tusk because I'm not into the body mutilation movies.
Oh yeah, I'm convinced that he doesn't have any good movie. He kind of.
Well, it's weird because everyone's saying that this is like return to form for him. These three movies.
Which one?
Tusk, Yoga Hosers, and the upcoming Moose Jaws.
Oh, I don't know. I like Clerks. I love Mallrats. Chasing Amy was okay.
Did you like Clerks 2?
No, I hated it.
Did you like Jersey Girl?
I didn't even watch it. I just convinced myself he's only got those kind of Clerk type movies in him, like Clerk universe type movies in him. And
I think so too.
Every time I was like, I just can't get into it. He always picks the worst actors. Like,
do you want to know a secret? I never liked any of those movies.
Really? It was huge for me in the 90s. Like,
I liked the Clerks cartoon.
I loved watching a movie where they talked about comics, like Chasing Amy and Clerks. At the time, like it was huge. Stupid 90s like teenager conversation. Mm-hmm. And I just have I'm not interested in anything he puts out anymore. And that Yoga Hosers was on Netflix, and I was like, I'll just check it out.
I don't know. See, I always read those scenes about comics and comic fans as more condescending than anything else.
Nah, I don't know.
I didn't care.
Because he's a huge, obviously he's a huge comic book fan.
I know he is, and he portrays himself as such, but I've tried to like watch his reality show about his comic store. That stuff's not good.
No, it isn't.
No, that show's horrible.
Yeah. Does this still come on?
I don't know.
I used to just watch it because it came on after Walking Dead, and I was like, oh, this is obviously so set up and just not good.
Yeah.
It would really be interesting if you showed like what real comic book people were like, I don't know, employees and some of the strange people that walk in.
Yes.
Instead of like
the actual freak show that it really is.
Yeah. I've got an Amazing Spider-Man #1 I would like to sell you.
Wow.
I don't know if I could sell. I don't know if I can give you that much for it. Well, let me think about it. Oh, Stan Lee just appeared.
What a twist.
I don't know if I can buy this Batman, this Detective Comics. Oh, look, someone just pulled up in a Batman motorcycle. Anyway, sorry. I just sidetracked this whole conversation, but
it's perfectly fine.
How did we get on Kevin Smith?
We were talking about dicks.
Oh, yeah.
We got to get back to Maxine's climax.
We're Maxine's climax. Listen, when that part happened, I super duper cracked up. Too funny.
You talking about like the spunk flying off panel?
Yes.
Yes, that is too hilarious.
That look on Angel's face on the fourth panel.
Jesus, Maxine.
No, the one before that.
Oh yeah, the cartoon.
The Little Orphan Annie.
Yes.
Little Orphan Annie. And the body language on all of these panels is hilarious and fantastic. Like, you just want to talk about like really selling the comedy, selling physical comedy. Like Maxine with the like bath, like with the creeping towards her with her hands gripped, and then like pulling the bathrobe like in her teeth. Yeah. And then like getting pushed off the bed, and then like with the drool like as she climbs back up on the bed. Again, selling the shit out of the body language, just physical comedy. It's not a moving medium. I'm just saying that's really hard to do.
Yeah, good stuff. And a lot of people don't pick up on that.
Oh, it's funny.
I mean, subliminally, but I think a lot of people don't realize how good it is.
Scott McCloud explained it to me.
I'm just saying, like, this moment to moment, like, to sell this sequence, and like knowing that he probably doing things his way, like just drew it and then wrote in the dialogue and stuff. Like, I don't know. It's just really like a hilarious, like, it's a funny sequence. I know that a lot of people are going to be, you know what? Here's the thing. I knew that squirting panel. You want to talk about things that are going to make people mad. It's not going to be Alex. It's not going to be Alex's nipples. It's not going to be Firelord's dongs. I'm calling it right now. That squirting panel is going to be what people can't get over.
It needed a sound effect. That was missing.
Splort.
Squeak. I like even the coloring. Like the way that Nikos did the coloring.
There's like sunspots.
Yes, but if you look at the coloring,
but it's like the lamp. It's the lamp in the background.
It's too funny, dude. This whole sequence. Yeah. It's too funny. I know.
You think like Nico's coloring this is like, oh man.
What did I get into?
I knew there'd be days like this. It's good. It's good stuff.
Frackazak.
That is a killer like micro splash page. Just all the rubble.
So here's what I think actually spurred Eric on this whole sequence with Martha.
Mm-hmm.
Marsha. He probably really wanted to do this with her nude, and he kind of wanted justification just to go all out. Because if he was going to do that, he might as well do the rest.
Oh yeah, sure.
Frackazak, skak, frackachoon.
I love it. I love the lettering. Just the lettering on the sound effects.
Yes.
It's good. Solid as hell, this issue.
Oh, the firefighters in there. I did not sign up for this shit. Do you think he's reintroducing kind of this Rapture type character as part of this kind of like multiple Earths storyline coming up? So now we have like almost like a Rapture type character.
I do. I think there might be something to that.
You think?
Maybe. It just seems, once again, kind of convenient to have this at this time.
That would be a hell of a thing to like merge the characters to where like there's just this new Rapture. Because then that's like Malcolm's mom. Like back in the book.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. We'll see where it goes. Is flying with lightning, is that a thing we have seen Rapture? I know we haven't seen Malcolm do it.
No.
No, it's new.
So Rapture,
It's what makes her unique.
Rapture never did that. Okay.
I want to say I don't remember Rapture ever really going all out like this, ever. I think she was more in control of her powers the whole time.
I don't even think Malcolm did. Malcolm was portrayed as being out of control with his lightning, like he couldn't stop from like killing dudes.
Yeah, he would go so all out, his eyes would like go lightning.
But I don't think he ever went fucking as crazy as this. Like she just seems like she's like blowing the whole damn building up. Almost like
this is the first time she's using it. She's like out of control. Yeah, she might be stronger. Who knows?
Like more lightning powers when I say stronger.
First time Rapture used her powers, didn't she like destroy, like she just blew up the head of the pimp? That was like,
yes,
that was in issue 100 by like Bruce Timm, I think.
Was that supposed to be the first time she used her powers?
Yeah,
I thought so.
Yeah, because he was slapping her up and she juiced him.
I thought part of that was that Ricochet stopped her. Or was she hunting down pimps at some point and Ricochet stopped her?
I think that's the case, but I don't remember.
Alright, because I thought the reason why the Savage World Rapture went bad is because she killed the pimp instead of not killing the pimp. But maybe I'm misremembering events.
I feel like you might be onto something there.
Maybe you're right.
Because that's seeming real familiar. Yeah. Well, listeners, you can wiki it.
Someone's going to be like, I can't believe you guys didn't remember that. Why don't you just look it up on the wiki? So frustrating.
We're busy.
Yeah, it makes for terrible listening. It's better if we just guess.
I'm kidding. I'm not mad at you. Someone's going to be offended that I said that now. Well, I never.
Nah, you just
if I listen to this again, you down to 3 listeners now, guys.
Guys, there was a squirting vagina. It's okay. Focus. Keep your rage focused. Keep your rage focused. Keep your rage focused. I gotta think, like, I know this is gonna sound funny to say, but has female ejaculation ever been in any North American mainstream comic?
God, don't even say it, because right now Rich Johnson's listening to the podcast and is like,
at this point, undoubtedly.
You think?
Next on Bleeding Cool.
There were 2 comics at Image. One was called Sex, and the other was called Sex Criminals.
Oh,
I haven't read them.
I'm a moron.
I'm willing to bet some of this stuff occurred.
I'm a moron. You're 100% right. Yes, dude, you're right.
Coitus is old news, is what I'm saying.
I'm a moron. You're 100% right, dude. Never mind. Not only has it happened in North American comics, it's happened at Image. Never mind. I'm a dope. Yeah, were those the Frankenbeans you were talking about?
Have you drawn it? Have you drawn it?
Of course he has.
Yeah. But I'm not North American comics by a long shot. Has it been on a webcomic? Oh, there's been all kinds of nutty things on webcomics, Jim.
They don't count. They're not real.
They don't count. It's all ones and zeros, you see? No, were these the Franks and Beans you were talking about, Craig?
On the splash page?
On the splash. Let's take a look here. Which splash page? This splash.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
There it is.
The one that Malcolm's just uppercutting the dude.
Lightning punch.
Ballage everywhere.
Considering these kids are made of fire, it's quite strange.
No, it's awesome. It's awesome and hilarious. They're real swing dicks. Totally. It is just I think, I'm sorry. I'm just a juvenile, I guess, but it just cracks me up seeing these guys. That guy's getting zapped in the balls, definitely. Marcia is zapping that dude in the junk, for sure.
Well, well, his junk is right below her hand, but it's all curled funny. But the first time I read this, I didn't even realize it, and then I had to look back. And I was like, I bet you he drew cocks on these guys. I was like, yeah. My eye just didn't catch it at first because it just looks like flame kind of flying around, you know.
Color wise, like compositionally, that splash page is fucking dynamite.
Yeah, it's got that blue streak right down, going from corner to corner.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, and with the orange sparks,
Yeah.
like on the top, like in the upper right and the lower left.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Just the way their lightning is turning everything blue, and the fire guys are, I think, that orange color. It's just really, really cool.
Even the lighting on Malcolm, like look at how like his like he's the light source from his own fist on the front of him, and then the light from the fire dude on the back of him. Oh, it's just killer, dude.
It is, right? It really is.
Very good.
Same thing with her too. Like you see, like, you know, on her backside it's all orange, and her front side it's got that bluish.
It's killer. That is a killer splash page. Again, you're talking about like owning a sweet piece of art.
Yeah, but you won't get the colors.
Still,
it would still be awesome, but I really do think, like we were just saying, the color really enhances this piece.
Oh yeah, this is super slick on the coloring. Nikos, hats off, dude. Killer. Look at don't you find this page hilarious with the dudes just sitting the last panel?
They're just sitting at the precinct waiting to get booked.
You just think of them. You don't think of them as waiting to get booked.
They're fire guys. They're sitting on a bench. They just inhabited someone's body.
And there they are.
No cuffs. They're just sitting there. All right, we give up. Don't hurt us, Mr. Dragon.
Dong, like hanging. Good stuff.
Limp wrists.
Can't wear pants.
They got their limp wrists going on.
Mm-hmm. This is.
What do you think of Malcolm not mentioning anything about Rapture?
Yeah, I
thought just kind of keeping that to himself.
I get that that's what the ... was about.
Right.
But at the same time, it was like, it was kind of surprising to me that he didn't stop to be like, oh, that's my mom.
Yeah.
Your mom's my mom.
It's a little weird. And I mean, obviously they both have lightning powers, so.
What are the odds?
But I thought that was a strange little kind of thing for them not to really, for almost like Malcolm's hiding it for now.
Yeah, I think Malcolm, he's mature enough not to lay another big bomb on somebody who's just been through traumatic experience.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, he would have to explain the alternate reality thing to her.
We would need another info dump at the end.
I kind of thought that potentially he may have left it out because it was the end of the comic. Like, I think he may have said more had this happened like sooner in the comic, but I think he was just like, to sort of like for the readers acknowledge it. But then, I don't know, I feel like that info dump's coming. I feel like he's going to be like, your mom and my mom were the same mom, but just
that'll
from
like
dimensions.
Open up the next issue.
Yeah, something. I feel like it's coming because I did think it was a little weird that he kept it to himself.
And we get the whole Jennifer bumping back into Dragon thing.
Oh, I didn't see you there. Fancy meeting you here.
Ugh, Jennifer.
And Dragon gives her the Morgan Freeman line, and I'm not that man.
He's little. He's little now. She even says, "You're little now." It's got to be weird to think about, like, for this character, just to, like, you know, still be down with Dragon, even though, like, he's so fucking much older now.
It's like she says, though. It's to her, this has been like a week since she last saw him.
Yeah.
Just needs to go shack up with Hercules.
Yeah. There's actually kind of a weird, another weird piece of this.
Mm-hmm.
This is almost like a role reversal. Remember, before Savage World, Jennifer died, she was depowered. Now
Mm-hmm.
Dragon's depowered.
Ooh, another role reversal. When Dragon had to explain to alternate Dragon or alternate Jennifer, hey, you're the woman that I was in love with in my old dimension.
Right.
It can work.
Yeah.
It can work. Well, she pops the question. I mean, that's definitely, I didn't see that shit coming at all. Because of course she did, that damn monster. Why wouldn't she want to lock him down as fast as possible?
So it's just a very interesting development for Dragon. He just gets out of jail, and then everything hits him at once. That's so Dragon. Hopefully he won't destroy the universe in 2 issues.
I have to say, I am still super rooting for Alex. Kind of Dragon's dialogue hints that he's not really, like, everything he's saying is like, look, this is, times have changed. You'll see. You'll come to. You'll realize. Like, everything he says sort of smacks of him having. The next thing you know, they're going to be walking down the damn aisle.
Trying to blow her off as easily as possible.
Mm-hmm. I'm old.
It'll be such a mind F. The next issue, it's like opens up with them getting married.
I'm telling you, dude. I'm going to cry a river.
It just shows Alex with a gun in her mouth. And I never saw her again.
I knew I should have never seen him again.
You just see Chris in the background. Ready? Yeah. Let's go. Put on the star costume for me.
Oh, God.
Then this, I think it's a hilarious closer with Malcolm coming home and, getting you need to pay. Again.
Wait. We missed the whole torment, right? Isn't there a torment scene?
Oh, I thought there was.
You want to?
You know what? That's the very first page of the issue.
Yeah, you want to know something that happened? You might want to cut this. But that was, I noticed when you guys were calling the Jennifer Angel page the first page.
Oh, shit.
They're numbered weird.
Are they?
Yeah. So, the numbering, the way it works, the first page is Torment.
Right. That's what I have.
Yeah. That's what we have.
Oh, mine is screwed up.
But exactly, you have to renumber them to make them go right. Like, the computer will shuffle them wrong.
Oh, right, because I remember when I opened this file, everything looked out of order, so I just hit the renumber button, the alphabetized button, and it fixed it.
What's happening is when Adam sends the files, the single digit things are no longer being numbered with like 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3.
Yeah.
The pages are just being labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so for like my computer, that screws it up. So I actually have to go in and renumber the pages.
Are you guys are reading them on your PC? Oh wait, you guys are reading them on your PC.
Yes.
All right, I'm reading them on my iPad. It renumbered them for me.
Okay.
It numbered them correctly.
So the page actual. It's funny. When we started the thing, I thought, that's weird. I wonder if that has to do with that. But yeah, the actual first page is Torment.
Oh, so the Torment page was the first page.
Yes.
God. Can you like dub me saying second page? Like when I go say first page, just and then we get to the second page. Hi, I'm Mr. Black.
Mr. Black. Mr. Black.
So what do you want to talk about this Torment page?
Yeah, we can pick up like we'll go ahead and just clean cut.
No, we're just going to tell the audience we effed up. All this goes in. We're talking about Torment now. Deal with it.
Well, no, I think it's worth talking about. You can start, and we'll just say real quick the thing. You can just be like, something else about that Torment page, and then bring it up.
Nah, that's all right.
Okay.
You sure?
It's all weird now.
No, It's not.
Nah, I was gonna say the torrent page looked cool. I just love the way his face, like the effort putting into the inks of his face and stuff. He just looked badass.
I agree.
I didn't have that much to add. It's not worth.
I think it's a little jarring because it's not done like that for the rest of the issue.
Well, I like Malcolm's face. Kind of has a similar thing going on the panel, like the fourth panel.
Yeah.
Just sort of like that scritchy, scratchy, like ink splattery. It's good. I like it.
Well, Eric said on Facebook that he pulled out the Zipatone paper for some of the shading.
It's cool, the scribbly, like if you look over Malcolm's shoulder, just that sort of scribbly, scratchy, like effect that's going on. There's just some cool hatching. I think one more cool thing to note is just, the acknowledgement that apparently those worms grow back.
Yeah.
They do. I mean, they got fried once, so they must.
Got fried once, and so it's just funny to think of his head as growing those things.
And he's from like the underworld. I don't think they ever established that.
Yeah, that's also new information. So does that mean there's like an army of torments under the ground? Like, is he just the one guy, but there's other freaks?
Yeah, it does kind of set up those fire lords who turn up later in the issue.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff.
Explains where they come from as well.
Yeah, it's good little micro foreshadowing there. So, and
did Torment get one of his chin horns ripped off?
Well, the chin horn is the worm. Like the worm comes up through his face.
Oh, I did not catch that fact.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, that's now I can visualize that. That's weird.
Yeah, when Jack pulls the evil worm out of his head, that worm, like Craig even said, he was like, those aren't horns on his chin. That's the tail of the worm.
Uh-huh.
Yep. So, and his head grows those worms back.
Which makes the design even cooler than it already was.
I think it's cool as shit. Torment is awesome. I think of like the newer era, the Malcolm era guys. Torment's a keeper, dude.
Definitely.
Like you talk about like who would you protect? Torment's a good guy.
Well, he's survived 2 encounters with Malcolm. That's more than most.
He's got a 2-tone cock.
Misshapen.
Amazing.
Misshapen, dude.
It's another worm tail.
Oh, this issue. I just can't wait to see.
I love how this issue ends in a nom nom nom.
I'm telling you, dude. See, the thing is I know people get mad, but if you don't read all that stuff as comedic, you're not seeing the intent. You're not seeing the author intent. Too funny. Whoa, we have company. I'll show myself out. It's comedy through and through. Solid stuff. Solid issue. My favorite of 2017.
Really?
We'll see what the media thinks.
Well, what would you say? Well, I mean, there's been quite a few this year.
I don't know. I'd have to look at it. I haven't thought about it.
Wait, you mean like Savage Dragon comic or comic in
Well,
general?
Savage Dragon, of course.
I want to say I preferred the 220, honestly, at this point. It's probably my favorite of the year.
Really? What's the issue?
Angel on the cover, smashing up uglies. Oh, you know what, though, guys? I'm stupid. 219 was the
Trial.
Well, that was the standalone where Maxine's dad died.
That was 218.
No,
218?
that was...
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that.
that's
I would
218.
probably say that was my favorite so far. 218.
I'm
I
wrong.
thought 218
But I think 218 came out in December or earlier.
came out December 2016.
I was right. Best one.
You mean, you don't mean in the past year. You mean this, like 2017.
Yeah, just
You
so
liar. You meant in the past year.
The past 12 months
Stop
or the
lying.
past
You
3
meant in the
months?
past year.
far. Of the past 12 months, I think that the 218 was way better. Of this year, It's got to go 222, baby.
This year of these 3 months.
Of these 3 months. To me, I know that I know like it's gonna people are not gonna love it. I know there's actually people that hate it. Actually, is what's weird.
I think it's a. Well, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was just gonna say that anytime an independent comic can do something that you really you're never gonna see in a mainstream corporate comic, I think it's a win.
Yeah, I think it'll be a memorable issue. Like you'll be like, that was the time Eric decided to just throw it all in.
Dicks and balls.
You think that you won't see it as extreme as this for the foreseeable future?
I hope the kid gloves are off. I hope this is how it is.
I mean, that last panel, we also get another sideways monkey mouth. Even more blatant.
If that is not a podcast name, talk about things you didn't notice. I didn't even notice that. Oh my God. How did I not? It's right there.
It's like the exact center of the page.
I am not calling this episode Sideways Monkey Mouth.
Come on, Jim. Be a sport.
There's a bunch of reasons why.
Sideways Monkey Mouth. New Savage FINcast. # Sideways Monkey Mouth. It's too funny. I don't know. Yeah, that's it. I think, like you said, if nothing else, it's incredibly memorable. I suppose we could talk about the backup. Craig, you missed our impressions, but I super dug it. Jim, what did you like about? How'd you feel about 221's? Because this is a carryover from.
It is, and this is where I was talking last one, where it's kind of the story is kind of a misdirection, because it ends on the stinger that this is a revenge story, not a heroic story,
right?
So it kind of subverts your expectations about what this is going to be, and overall I dig it. It looks good. I think I need more.
I like the artist in the previous episode better.
It's not the same guy.
Different?
No, totally different.
Oh my gosh, you're blowing my mind.
This is Maxine.
And then last time it was Chiapara. Yeah, okay.
And if you look at it and compare them side by side, I like the other artist better. But both artists are good. I just was jarred at first when I looked at it. I was like, oh, is this the same? I had to look and see if it was the same, like that Myth of Mars or whatever. Because I was like, oh, it looks very much like it, but the art is different. And the lettering is different.
The lettering is different. And that's what I immediately noticed is last time, I think Adam Pruitt did the lettering.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, that's immediately what I noticed first was the lettering. And then
Same here.
Yeah.
Same here.
Adam did the original one?
He did 221's, I do believe. It's credited as being... Pruitt. And they don't...
And this time the artist did it himself.
Yeah, this time the artist did it himself. That was my first thing. I didn't like the hand lettering as much. It's actually not bad. I mean, it's actually really good hand lettering, but...
It reminded me of... what was the Andy Kuhn book, Fire Breather?
We brought this exact thing up last
really?
issue. We made in a Giant Size Kung Fu Bible Stories, Andy Kuhn did a series called Frankenstein of Mars, which is unrelated to this Mars.
Yeah, even both artists in the lettering too,
but incredibly similar. Amazingly strikes a lot of the same chords.
It's funny because obviously I didn't hear your podcast. So
yeah, that's what's so great about you bringing that up is it really drives it home.
Third-person verification.
That being said, I did still like it a lot. I think
it's cool.
Yeah, I think like sometimes I mentioned this that we sometimes complain, when the backups aren't Dragon related. But for me, I thought this was cool as shit. I love that giant space slug on the last thing.
Yeah, that gave me a Prophet vibe with the close-up little view.
There's definitely a Prophet vibe throughout it.
Mm-hmm.
We're both like,
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I agree totally.
Yes.
Especially that last double page spread with the zoom in panel. That's like something Prophet would do.
Yeah, just the character designs very. And I don't know if you guys read Headlopper.
Yes, I actually bought when he was doing it on his own.
Mm-hmm.
I think I bought the first issue like directly from him before it got picked up by Image.
Cool.
And I loved it. And then I haven't been collecting comics as much.
Oh my gosh!
And it came out and I missed it. I think does he come out like every couple months or something, or he does like 3 and takes a break or something?
Well,
I think it's
quarterly. Yeah. And what's great too is it appears that quarterly is a story arc. So like the new one actually hits this week as of this recording. So when their listeners hear it, it will have been out. But yeah, get into the new one. It's good.
I like that witch. Does he still have that witch's head in the bag?
Yes. Awesome stuff. So that's the thing, is it put me in mind of Headlopper, which I freaking loved. So yeah, good stuff, man. I'm psyched.
Nice.
If they want to have more of this, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I agree. Good stuff.
All in all, killer issue. Definitely love the backup, love the main issue. Good all around.
Yeah. I mean, overall, yeah, it's good, and we're moving forward, and there's definitely as exciting stuff on the horizon, if not more so.
Yeah, with the whole like everything all coming together as far as like I mean 223 you've got like just I'm pretty sure maybe the last, or is that no that's the beginning of the whole. I feel like 223, 24, and 25 it's going to be like a 3-issue like arc. Yeah, oh well geez. I'm like sort of dipping ahead into my own solicitation.
Speaking of which,
on the next issue,
take us home, Raven.
On the next issue of Savage Dragon 223, The Merging of Multiple Earths, Part 1. Mr. Glum devises a plot to merge the multiverse and restore the love Angel Murphy had for him. Malcolm Dragon fights to save his reality and the lives of everybody on Earth. It's an awe-inspiring, world-shattering cosmic event told in 3 chapters. So there you go.
I guess that's where the world merging stuff came from.
It's a world merging stuff, my man. It's coming up.
Where did you get that from?
Right off of Image's website.
Nice.
So that is the official. We were joking. We joked with Jim about it on the previous issue. Sorry, listeners. We keep talking about it. For us, this is the same day, but like we were joking about it. How'd you like that? Malcolm is taking down Belco Chemicals. Pretty misleading.
Yeah.
So the question is begged by Jim is, you really think they're going back to Glum World in 223?
Yeah, the very next issue after they just got back.
Oh, because on 222 does it say he goes after Belco Chemicals for the solicitation?
No, it was 221, right? Yeah, 221 solicitation. No, I'm sorry. 220 solicitation had something that about Malcolm going after Belco Chemicals.
No, it's 221. Malcolm is tasked with closing down Belco's Labs Freak Factory.
Okay.
So I guess that was put on the shelf.
Which was funny because that was, again, I'm a Belco fan, so that was actually a story arc that I was like super jazzed to see. So I hope that doesn't like get thrown away.
I guess maybe it was misdirection for putting Dragon's mug on the cover.
That's the way I read it. Just sort of a fake out. But yeah, it's funny because I was like, I wonder if it's going to be a 3-part, and then like I looked at the copy and that's exactly what it's going to be. So next 3 issues, 3-part arc, culmination, 100 pages.
That's crazy.
Well, 20 pages and 80 pages of backup.
We'll see. You never know. You never know what's going to
You
happen.
sound like a man that knows something.
I don't know anything.
He
Better
doesn't know
not.
shit.
I'm a total know-nothing, I promise you.
I'm a total know-nothing.
Now that's the name of the episode.
Sideways monkey mouth. Oh, Jim. Please, I'm begging you. If you let me have sideways monkey mouth, I'll never ask you for another episode title this year.
Hey, you make the banner.
Oh, that's right.
I'm just kidding.
What are you going to put in the preview image?
Beautiful. It's just part of nature. It's part of nature. We're all from them.
Just a chimpanzee mouth turned sideways.
Oh, I feel like we're getting in trouble somehow.
Somehow
we're sliding deeper and deeper into our grave. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Craig. Appreciate it, good sir.
You don't have to thank me, man. It's not like it's a chore or something. I want to do it, just can't find the time hardly. But I'm glad that Zach's able to pick up the slack and we can keep this thing moving, because I hate when we don't have one available. Seems to just kind of mess up the pace and everything, and the way Eric's been cranking them out. So thank you, Zach, out there, if you're listening.
Probably. No.
Well, he's probably asleep right now.
Well, I'm not saying now. I'm saying if he's listening when in the future. This whole time he's been listening in.
By the end of the podcast,
He's trying to get a word in.
He's all tuckered out. gotta hit the hay. I know this is not anything related to anything, but I do want to say I'm sorry. I'm abusing my FINcast powers to give this some love. Andrew D'Etremont's daughter cosplayed as, young Angel with the Glum doll.
Yeah.
And she did the crayon drawing of Mr. Glum on a mountain of candy. That is pure magic.
Yep.
That is adorable. That is
Someday she may read this comic.
I just say Candy Mountain Glum is an alternate reality Glum. That's my headcanon.
Okay.
It's my headcanon. It's too adorable. Check it out. If you're not a part of the Savage Dragon communities anyway, you should be, folks. They're great.
Yeah, we should.
How did you find us?
Well, there's that, but also it's good. A lot of good people out there, a lot of cool characters, and get to know them. Join it, chat it up.
Yeah,
with
if you
people.
just search Eric Larson fan group, there's a couple of them out there. I mean, the one that seems to be the more popular one is the Eric Larson Savage Dragon fan group, and then there's also Savage Dragon with an exclamation point at the end. Those are the two bigger ones, but there's a lot of good posts on there.
Some of them from Eric.
Oh yeah, definitely. He chimes in a lot. There was someone put in there. What was the one that someone put? They just bought the first appearance of Dragon, and they did like an unboxing of it. Graphic Fantasy #1.
I didn't see that. Cool.
Someone did an unboxing of Graphic Fantasy #1.
I'll have to look that up. That's awesome. How much does that cost these days?
I'm not sure what they were asking.
A couple of $1,000.
Really?
I feel like it should be in the $2,000 range.
Ugh, I'll never own one.
It also has an Eric Larson sketch in the back.
I think he said, here's what I think he said. I think he said he paid $16,000 for Graphic Fantasy #1 and
16,000 or 1,600.
Sorry, 16.
Okay, I was gonna say, holy shit.
For Graphic
You got
Fantasy,
ripped off,
Graphic Fantasy #1 and one of the Megatons, Megaton #3 or whatever the first appearance of Dragon was.
No. Well, you could just throw that. I mean, I think you can get that for like $20. The Graphic Fantasy, yes, but the Megatons aren't that much money.
They aren't?
Unless, I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I think he's also said that a few years ago he had bought a megaton for like $700.
Oh my god.
And so he had felt like he got a good deal on this pairing.
Oh my god.
I straight up bought all my
post,
megatons. Like, I didn't own them from when I bought them off the stand, and I don't feel like I paid more than like $25 each. But of course, I bought them all.
Because he explained all this. Let me just find the article and inform our audience of the fascinating information about how much these fucking comic books are. Where is it? Shouldn't be far. And I'm scrolling, and here we go.
Megaton number 1 and number 6, 19.
It was Graphic Fantasy 1 and number 2, and I think he posted some more information down here. Okay, this isn't jumping out at me.
I didn't see it at all, so you're on your own on this one.
You didn't see this at all? I definitely found it.
I see.
He was talking about this one with a signature.
Now I'm seeing like Megaton number 3 on eBay for $90. One for $150. Wow, I guess it's really gone up a lot. I swear I bought my copy for like $20. But this was in like maybe 99 or 2001, around there sometime.
Oh yeah, it would have been way less then.
I guess. I feel like it hasn't gotten, like, Savage Dragon hasn't gotten more popular.
I think Eric asked him directly what he paid for it.
Got to turn those into cash. It's got a mountain in the closet.
You wonder.
It's an investment, you see?
See here?
Yeah.
It's the coppers.
Yeah, see? Never take me alive.
All right, I'm not finding the posts I'm looking for with the dollar amount. So you have to take my word for it that I have no idea what I'm talking about.
See here?
Yeah. I'll take your word for it.
I could have swore someone said they paid $1,600 for 2 early Savage Dragon books, but I cannot verify that information at this time.
If they got their eyeballs sandpapered, as Craig is suggesting, then that's probably why you can't find it. They probably just deleted that right off.
If what?
I said if they got their eyeballs sandpapered, as you suggested, then yes, they probably just got rid of that post. I feel like I got a real deal. I feel like you got ripped off. Delete. Erase.
All right, we are dragging the ending of this episode out a little bit too much, so let's wrap this up. Thanks for listening, guys. If you want to send us an email with any comments, suggestions, or how much you paid for Graphic Fantasy number 1, you can email us at savagefincast@gmail.com.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining us, Craig.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Everyone, have a good one. Sideways monkey mouth.
Now
you're listening to the Savage FINcast.
Eric said, okay, I'm still recording, so I'm going to let this go a little longer. If you don't mind, Eric says, if you don't mind my asking, what did that set you back? The guy bought Graphic Fantasy number 1. And he says, it was $1,600 for Graphic Fantasy number 1, Graphic Fantasy number 2, and the early Dragon sketch. So there's a Dragon sketch on one of the issues. The last Graphic Fantasy number 1 was on eBay, went for $1,500, and he paid $750 for another copy of Graphic Fantasy number 2. So he feels he got a good deal because the one issue itself goes for about $1,600 on its own, and for $1,500 on its own. So he paid $1,600 for both, plus the sketch. So there was no megaton at all.
Whoa. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Good times.